Hello, traders. How's it going, bandits? Banditos. How's it going, bandits? Banditos. That's annoying whenever I forget to turn that off. Either way, that seems to happen every show. Oh, what's up, guys? Give people a minute to come in. Just doing a few chart reviews before I look at stuff on Monday. I haven't traded Microsoft much. Let's see. Hope y'all had good weeks this week. Got a little bit of a show idea planned for tonight. I've got one specific topic that I want to talk about, and then from there we'll see where it goes. I'll take any of your questions, anything like that comes up. But if you have any questions for me, let me know as we get going. I've got my kids that are kind of making noise. One of them might be waking up, so hopefully he stays down. Just seeing where we kind of ended today. Ended the market super strong, relatively speaking. Nice bull move today. I'm not sold at the bottoms end by any stretch. I think we're still overall pretty bearish. I still have a lot of stuff to get through. I need to clear up some of these charts. How are you guys doing? Thanks for the like. What up, AK? How's it going, brother? How's your day today? How was your week? What's up, Andrew? Yo, Andrew, I don't know what you're up to, man, but if you want to hop on the show tonight, it's just me. I was going to talk some price action and stuff. If you're busy, no worries. But if you're chilling and want to talk about kind of the adaptation, we're going to talk about price action overall and different types of days, and then a few other things like the evolution of this quote-unquote C strategies, because I've got some questions on those. So I don't know what you're up to, brother, but if you want to hang out and chat, I meant to message you earlier today. If not, no worries. Instead of giving the show time to prep. Ayo, Khan, what's going on, brother? Did you have a good week? Do you guys think the bottom's in? No worries, man. I appreciate you coming on, or I appreciate you coming to hang out. That daily 200 on GME. I need to mark this level, guys. This daily 200, since we've got up here. Bounce off, bounce off. That'd be a good short. Something to pay attention to in the future. You might have an inverse, or actually not an inverse, but an actual head and shoulders here forming on GME on the daily. Check this out. I need to make note of this to give it to Geronimo. Boom, boom, boom. So you have a neckline break. Where is it? Right here? Yeah, I need to make a note of this. Yeah, that's the thing, and I want to talk about that a little bit tonight, Con, with holding trades longer. Because people have been asking about that. What's going on? What's up, guys? Happy Friday night. This could be a very fun head and shoulders in GME to the short side here. Nice, Martin. Yo, hit him straight, dude. Hit him long. I'm going golfing this week. I might actually go twice this week. I'm going here in Georgia at Harbor Club on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I'm going back in Maryland for a wedding on Friday, and I'm flying to Maryland Friday for a wedding, and I thought I'm going to go golfing, so I won't be trading next Friday, or I won't be able to do a show next Friday either. So I'll do a fireside on Thursday. So I'll do a show next Thursday. But yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to golf 2 times this week. I think I haven't golfed since I moved. Good luck, man. We're going to talk some about price action tonight. Going to talk about identifying the type of days it is. A few other things. Dude, that was totally the trade of the day. I wish I would have done some more aggressive in the Qs. I actually didn't. I should have. I've got to get back into like sticking with the Qs. Sometimes they're just sometimes easier to predict than some of these other names that aren't always going. GME. I have to check out NVIDIA. In my opinion, we're nowhere near a bottom. Interesting chart on Roku. Amazon. Look at that level of support. Just a nice level of support right there. It's really held up. I need to cut that handicap, dude. The best I've done is 95. I definitely think I can drop that down a decent amount. I think I can drop it down to so I play, generally speaking, if I'm on my game, I can hit bogey ball, but the problem is I blow up on a few holes, and I'll be like double par stuff or triple bogey, like a few, maybe 4 holes, and it really messes the score. But generally speaking, I've had 3 or 4 birdies throughout a par 4 or throughout a 18 a couple times. I've like parred several and then bogey, but then it's just like those ones that blow up and you just get in that bad position and it really messes with you, and then it's hard to come back. But I really want to drop my handicap down. I'd like to get to the point where I'm shooting like I feel like I'd be respectable in the 80s, and then I really want to start going hard. I'm going to get some coaching soon for golf. I plan on taking golfing lessons. But super I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I want to get down in the 80s. It's like my short-term goal is to get down in the 80s. Pro card, I don't know that I'm going to get there, man. That's pretty legit, though. I've played with some people with pro cards, and they were like giving me pointers and stuff, and maybe want to get coaching. It's more for the discipline of the sport and being able to stay consistent. Like, I like sports and I like doing stuff like that. So getting to the point where you can be consistent to me is like really good. I never drew that line before, but that's an interesting line. Just messing around for a minute while we wait for some people to get on. I don't want to start and like get into the I have been trading AK for almost 2.5 years now, 3 years now. And I've been doing it, well, let's see. I started pre-COVID doing this part-time in March of 19. And then I joined, no, was it March of 19? I think it was the year of COVID, so 20. So I started when COVID, right before or right when COVID started. I joined the T3 live room, and I joined that room with Mark Melnick and learned to trade from him. And everything I do now is an adaptation of what I learned there. And so that would be March of 20, or April of 20, March, April, May of 20. And then I went full-time the following February. I made like quadruple my old salary in a few months. It took me 6 to 8 months to make $25K. I then made, starting from an $8,000 account, I then made $25K. The month I made $25K, and I was able to trade unlimitedly. I just happened to make that in a good month, providentially, and I smacked the crap out of Tesla and some news splits and news about the split and stuff, and just completely, just killed that stock as it was running up, quadrupled my old salary, and then quit my job, basically. So yeah, and that was 21 when I started doing this full time, and now it's 22. So I've been doing this full time for a little over a year, and I'd say I've been trading full on for about 2 years or 1.5 years. And, I love doing it. And part of these shows are kind of like my growth and my experience as a trader and a journaling of them publicly as a sense. And, things that I used to do, things that I do now, and what I'm learning, what I'm seeing in the market, what I see from other people that I kind of help and talk to. So, it's kind of the reason I do these shows. It's just kind of like that, my whole journey, my whole process, and what I'm finding that's working as a trader as a 2 to 3 year trader, has been a blessing to me and has helped me, get to where I'm at. And I'm trying to help other people kind of identify stuff like that and see the same thing. Yeah, Mark was a blessing. Thankful to my dad that he pointed me in that direction. Of Mark Melnick. He's actually in the room too, and he kind of pointed me in that direction, and I located Mark, and thankfully I was able to jump in and learn from him. We have an interesting line here on Apple, by the way, 124 to 224, meaning the date, so 124 a month apart, 224, and then you can see how that hit on 314 and 315, and then it's been kind of a support and resistance area for the most part in here. Every single time Apple's coming up on it. Just looking at stuff, I'm still not, I'm overly bullish in the short term on the market. I think we're nowhere near a bottom, in my opinion, or we have no proof of being near a bottom. And all I see are stocks that are at the point where they used to reverse. So I think we could have one of two things early next week as another continuation forward. If this holds, by the way, since people that are early, before I start kicking my what I think I'll do for the show, before we actually start running, maybe we run and we fill the gap here in the Qs to 299 and retest that, 305 level, that 305 pivot. But if we don't break that, 305 pivot and start getting up there, I see, another massive downside or another downside back below the daily 21. And you don't have any evidence that you're going to hold and sustain that 21 for more than a week, as you can kind of see here in the triple Qs. So I'm definitely not. I'm short-term bullish in the market, which is what I've said for a while, a lot earlier this week. And I talked to JR about it. I'm like, dude, I think we're going to run this week. And I definitely hedging my bets with some shorts, but I think we're short-term bullish. But overall, I think we're still pretty bearish, and I'm in nowhere expecting us to be longer. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of this. Maybe another move higher into that 305 in the Qs and other names respectively. But look where we're at and the amount of resistance and trend lines that we're coming into that are significant, and the daily 21s and the 200s that we haven't hit yet. So I do like GME bearish though, guys. I might swing GME to the short side, not heavy. Just until we prove that we can break and hold the daily 21, I'm not bullish on anything. I don't see anything that I'm like, you know what, this is really bullish. Google, but even then, here. Either way, so I want to talk about something today. First, I got to do a professional intro because we're a professional show here. We got over 500 subscribers. That makes us professional. Sunglasses, Engage from Top Gun. Still haven't watched the movie. Looking forward to seeing it, but I have kids and I don't have time. These make me cool. These make me look like a 90s murderer and or weird person who doesn't know anything, whose name is Gary, which is also my name, which is like, who's a dad who's very unfamiliar with things and kind of does like this and doesn't know what his kids are doing as they go out to fight demons in the upside down. Or cool person who can tell you where the stocks are going and where they're going. Have no idea which one I am. Either way, I'm Gator. Change the name of the show maybe a little bit. Hey, it's called branding. It's a YouTube channel. We brand a little bit here. Swamp Side. I don't know if that sticks or not. We'll see where we're at, guys. Either way, I'm Gator. Let's kick off the show. Let's talk about price action. Let's talk about some other stuff. Take your questions, whatever you want to do. Let's go, guys. Kick the intro. First off, cheer to you, my fellow banditos, swamp creatures, and bandits alike. You guys are the reason I do this. Absolutely love you guys. Love trading with you. Love this job. Best job in the world. I will be doing it hopefully as long as I can click a button, unless I lose my eyesight. So cheers And JR, you are welcome to come on if you would like. I know you're probably busy, but if you want to chill, welcome to the house, JR. But if you would like to hang out, I'll send you a Zoom link and you can come talk and talk some price action again today. What up, JC? So also, guys, blue light glasses, random. I don't get paid for this. This has nothing to do. This is just a little thing. JR said something to me the other day, and I was like, I need to get those. I've been wearing these for the past couple days. Love them. Absolutely love them. The strain on my eyes, I feel so relaxed, especially after being there all day. You can get some cheap ones on Amazon. These were $60 at a local store. Go pick up some blue light glasses if you're going to sit in front of the computer. They do absolutely wonders for me. What up, Naveen? What up, fam? Absolutely love those things, especially when I sit here all day. My eyes aren't as strained. I don't get a headache. So, what up, fam? So let's talk a little bit about some price action. I feel like I should wear sunglasses because the moonlight hurts my eyes. I don't know. Blinds are closed, but you know, that's how it is. Those blue lights make a difference. So I want to talk about something I've noticed in the market. So to start off this, if you're watching this show, my I'm Back show, at least the part of it when people start asking me questions, the show, good evening, Elizabeth, the show I do with JR, the following one, last Friday night, and the 2 videos I uploaded this week, that there's like a 5 kind of part series where you get, where the main topic of what I've been talking about over the last week is price action. And I want to kind of continue that theme tonight a little bit and kind of do not a summation, but I would like to put together something kind of bigger on this in the future. But I've noticed, like, I want to, in my own random rambling way, get to a point to where I can kind of explain the different moves and observing what kind of day you're in, what kind of price action that you're in, because in my opinions, I only trade options, Nate. Almost exclusively. I do some common. I've been dabbling in it, but I'm almost exclusively options. I do common. You can do common. There are reasons I do options instead of common. And yeah. So let's start off. If you've watched those last 2 videos, I'm going to expand on that concept here just a little bit. And we're going to talk about how to say this. When you know that you're not, well, when you know that let's say you're in a compression state or a consolidation state. So let's look back at what we saw the other day, at what we saw yesterday. What trades did we identify yesterday in Tesla? I'm going to move my face out of the way. So what did we identify in Tesla? We identified these fib moves, measured moves, and then pulling back down below the 21 when we bounced off of it, shorting the 21 on the 2-minute and those plays. And I showed you live trades of that from what I believe was yesterday and the day before, and how Tesla behaved and how it was fairly easy to call these plays and trade these plays, generally speaking. Today was slightly different. So what you had in Tesla, and I'm just using Tesla as an example, the Qs are like this too, was an aggressive run up at the open. Extremely aggressive with almost no pullback to mention. And we never really tested the 21. And the first time we tested the 21, we didn't actually go higher. Then when we came back and tested the 21, instead of going lower on the 2-minute, we went down and we actually broke down, or we didn't break down and we went back up, but we didn't create a new high, and we just chopped around for the rest of the day. In Tesla pretty much all day, but until the end. And Geronimo, if you get a chance, check out the head and shoulders, what I believe on the daily chart in GME right here. Nice little head and shoulders there. But in, I think it is anyway. But in Tesla, I'm using this as an example because it's an example that we trade every day. Tesla was not behaving like I wanted it to today. So what happens, I got to prep these shows better, but we have a way that we want a stock to behave. And I made money on this move. It was pretty green on this move. But we have a way that we want stocks to behave. I want them to act a certain way, and I want to do them a certain way. What happens when they don't do what I'm wanting, meaning they hit this level and then they do this, and they hit the 21 and then they do this? We can do one of two things. You have to be able to identify the type of move that you're in. A lot of you guys, and excuse me for kind of getting around the bush, I have to talk through things to get to where I'm thinking. Unless I have somebody bounce stuff off of, I have to kind of like talk to myself in order to get to where I'm going. What up, JD? You have to actually, you have to identify the play that you're in and where you're at and what the stock is doing. Is it doing what you want it to do? No, it's not, because it didn't pull in and it hit the 21 and then it didn't bounce, so we didn't get more of a move. So we gapped up a little bit and then we went up to, what was a good, I didn't fib this whole thing. Initially I fibbed this one. So we had a pull in, we hit the 8, we came back up, we hit the 127, and then we pulled into the 21 and we didn't really go that much higher. And then we just pulled in. And when we hit the 21 again, we didn't bounce down. So we didn't do exactly what we were, in a sense, predicting the stock to do. Instead, we just consolidate all day. You can do one of two things. You can force a trade, or you can have rules that protect you from continuing to bend. Because if this would have worked and would have continued in that bullish sequence, when we came down here on this move, and I'm just using this, and there's other reasons, and there's measured moves and stuff that it could have told you we were wrong. And when we broke here, and we broke this 2-minute green takes red, and we failed to at least retest this 100, the day highs, if we would have done that, we would have been in a continuation bullish sequence, a breakout that would have paid us a lot more, or paid us really well. But the fact that that didn't happen, and we noticed it didn't happen, and then when it broke down and it came back to the 21 and it failed to break down, it's like, okay, this is not doing what it has been doing the last 2 days. The order flow this morning was just super bullish. We were just super runny. We just broke up and just ripped. We had one pullback to speak of, and then we just kept going, and now we're consolidating. So I can sit here and scalp it, but I need to understand that I am no longer in a bullish sequence. And this is what I'm trying to get to. We're no longer in, at the moment, what is a bullish sequence. Why did the Mark 1, know your limit 8, know your limit 21, Mark 5, all of these things work? What were they? Hey, what up, Kelvin? What were they? They're a way to play price action, or they're a way to play what is happening in the market. Yes, algos are buying here. Yes, things are running up. Yes, these are the things, but what are they? They're a trade with a trade idea. I want to show you something. Let's look at a Mark 1 that happens today. For those of you who are like, Mark 1s never happen anymore, and they're just harder. I want to talk about the evolution of a trade a little bit, and I hope there's something here. My day was great, man. It would have been better if some stuff I talked about later would have happened, but it was a pretty good day. Nothing to complain about. You have a lot of actual strategies here. Here's a 1-minute chart. Here's your first know your limit 8. Look what happens. I want you guys to go back, if you have the videos or you know, that a Mark 1 originally was you bought it and your stop was below the low of a candle. A know your limit 8 was the same thing. So the first technical Mark 1 that we have today is here, which is also your know your limit 8. That just shows how crazy Tesla was today. Yeah, we didn't have any lower candles. So your first technical Mark 1 was your first know your limit 8 at 941. The original Mark 1, when I joined, was you buy at the break and you don't exit unless it breaks the low. It didn't break the low and it went higher. The Mark 1 worked because you're in a bullish sequence. Because you're in bullish price action overall. I'm not saying you should do this. Know your limit, all these things. I'm telling you what the original this could be your stop. This could be your max loss stop. I'm not saying put a 4-point stop on Tesla options at 9:40 in the morning. I'm telling you what the trade could be. When's the next one? Here's the next Know Your Limit 8, which is the next Mark 1. This is a Know Your Limit 8. This next candle never breaks the low and breaks out. And you can sell at any point here. This is still the same trade. It just trades slightly different because we are in a bullish sequence. Now, generally speaking, when I would see this, if I was reviewing this chart and you could zoom out enough during the day to realize that this is happening, you would be like, we failed to break higher off of a Know Your Limit 8. We need more of a pull-in now before we go. And we broke out and we failed. So let's say you take that and you take another one. It broke out and it failed. And so you just tell yourself you need some consolidation to a 21 before you go in. Generally, we tell that you take 2 to 3 trades, wait for a larger time frame, 21 or 5-minute breakout. We pull into the 21. Know your limit 21, guys. Know your limit 21. Look at that. And then there's your measured move, or your if you zoom out and you look at a measured move. If you want to throw up one of these things and you look at a measured move, it's close enough for government work. Duplicate. Doesn't hit until later. Actually, I guess, I don't know. Doesn't hit, but you can go till there. Never hits on the day. And this is part of the overall weakness. But to the 168 would have been that, and that could have been your measured move target. You definitely should take profit before you get to the end of it. But there you go. So, nice example of how it doesn't always work. I guess if we go here, which isn't there either, but yeah. So same thing there. So you're still in a bullish sequence. The Mark 1, Know Your Limit 8, Know Your Limit 21s still work. The trades are still there. These strategies in a bullish sequence haven't stopped working. They feel differently because you're not in just a market that's running all day and you get 4 legs in a move and then you pull back and you're just running up nonstop in a name and you're getting paid. What I have been talking about over the last 4 or 5 videos has been really focused on, I think, what JR has been preaching in his stuff in the NewsBeat live room. If you're interested in the NewsBeat live room, let me know. I'll send you some contact info over there, and you can come trade with us over there if you're not a member there. If you want to trade on Discord, there's a link below. And if you're watching this, please like, share, subscribe, guys. If you're watching this, you want to spend your time here, throw a like up on this video. Not hard to do. Subscribe to the channel, notifications, let you know when I go live. I'm kind of sporadic with some of that sometimes, but either way. So there is your Know Your Limit 8. There's your Know Your Limit 21 that worked the first time it tested. So all you have to do is take it the first time it tests on the 1 minute. And there's 2 trades that work. The strategies still work, but you have to be within a bullish sequence. If you're still, and then I actually don't see a lot of Mark 1s. Here's another Mark 1 right here. It's another Mark 1 because we're out of, we had a chart reset here. You need a chart reset to take another Mark 1. Going up doesn't make a chart reset. There is your next Mark 1 here, and there's your move higher. So you still had a Mark 1 with a candle that never broke below the previous candle low. They still work. They're still there. C strategy stands for simple, easy, and effective. The problem is sometimes we're just used to getting paid right away, instant, whatever, and you're up 2 points and then you sell. You're up 50 cents and you sell. Sometimes you have to slow it down and you have to realize the market that you're in. You have to realize the overall strength is. Where's the resistance? Where's the whatever? If you go back to 2020, we're just, there's nothing above us. We have no candles above us. We're just creating new highs every single day. Not happening now. You're moving up into resistance. There's daily 21s. There's moving averages on top of you. There's algorithms on top of you. You're going up into, these different levels. Sometimes it takes longer. There's less liquidity in the market. So we have to slow down. We have to know when we're taking trades and we're holding them because it's a target that we're trying to get to and it's a good trade. And we have to know when we're just holding it because we just think we want to make money on a trade. And there's a difference in that. I'm just trying to hit a home run. Was that the first? This was the first 15 minutes. I mean, you can look at the chart. wins the first 15 minutes. This is the first 15 minutes right here, and then this is after the first 15 minutes. So you hit the 21 here at 9:56. That's your first 1 minute 21. If you go to the 2 minute strategy, you know, we gapped up the first time we pulled back into the 8. You know, we smacked the crap. I was in this trade. I caught this move. It was like 3.5 points. Got in and down here, 3 or 4 points. First time we hit the 21, we fail. So first time you hit the 21, you fail. All right, that happens. All right, we're in a bearish sequence. We didn't really hit it. I'm not sure. I'm going to wait for it to pull back up into the 21 and look to short it. That didn't work. We're bouncing around. All right, so it's definitely not the easiest day, but that's why I'm talking about it. It's not the easiest day in this name or other names, and you need to recognize that early. All right, we just ran up. We had no pullback. The first time we hit the 21 on the 2 minute, we failed. And then when we went back up, we went back through it, but we didn't make 2 highs. What are we in? We're in consolidation. We're in sideways price action. Leave it alone. If you took 2 or 3 losses, understand, hang on. This isn't the day now to buy every green takes red and every Mark 1. Tesla had an ATR today of like under $1 at a few points. So it was barely moving. And you're scalping Tesla and losing, and you're like, well, what's the problem? I don't understand what I'm doing. In order for a C strategy or anything else to be effective, you have to be in a type of sequence that complements the trade that you're getting into. There is a reason I did the last few shows I did showing those trades, and it wasn't to be like, oh, look at Gator, he can make money. Whatever, he held a trade to target. I was in a sequence that had been working. Tesla had hit the 127 or 161 each time and was following these perfect moves, and it was just easy to be like, look, it did it, and you back tested it and it hit your level previously, and then it did exactly what you thought it would, and the next time it hit that level you took it again and you took it there. And I took money off on the way down, not because I was trying to maximize profit on what I could get if I hit target, but because I was trying to make a good trade. I did the same thing in Apple today. Let me show you an example of a trade that didn't work overall, but worked like it was a good trade for me. It was fine. It was a good trade idea. It didn't work because the market changed. I'll show you what I was looking at in Apple today. Apple. As the market is ripping, look at this point in the day, what Apple did. I took Apple here, somewhere in here. What do you see in this? If you saw the Qs at this point in time, so let's look at the Qs at 11:10. Let's look at the Qs. Okay, so we're at 11:10. What are the Qs doing? They were down here, and they have gone up. And then they've consolidated, and now they're bouncing back up in what appears to be a grindy up move, or at least a consolidation move, because we haven't broken up. But we're overall in a decent sequence here. We're not bearish on the day by any stretch. We're fairly strong. What's Apple done? And Apple is started pretty gapped up, popped, which actually on a different chart I have this into resistance, and then it pulls back down, and Geronimo explained this really well earlier. It popped back down, it popped below this high, it's down here below this whole move, and we're consolidating below VWAP in the 21, and we're not getting higher, we're getting lower. And I shorted Apple somewhere in here off the 21, don't remember exactly where. I went extremely heavy in this short, and I sold most of my puts here. And then what I actually did was I bought back in when we hit the 21 again, and I shorted some more, and I sold again, and I held a core position. But it's like we went back into the 21, I shorted, I sold near day lows, and then I actually kind of kept doing that a couple of times, and then ended up getting stopped out. But what I was seeing on this chart actually for the day was this. This looked like this, and I'll get to what I'm talking about here and why this matters. This candle at this point in the day on the daily looked like a hammer, and it was below the 21. It hit that daily 21, and it was below that daily 21. So if we would have flushed, and if we would not have get that buying at the end of the day, I saw a high probability of, if the market went down, putting myself in a position where Apple runs down and begins to fill the gap to the downside, because look what it has done every time it's come into that 21. It now looks more like this, which means it might be down here next week, guys. Be careful with your longs. Move my face out of the way. And you can just see what it's done every time it's hit the daily 21. What am I doing? I'm in the wrong place. All the way since back here, since we got below the 21. We haven't held it. So the idea on multiple time frames here was we also had a shooting star off of the hourly 200. This looked like a great short back to fill the gap. This was a good probability trade for me within what at the time I thought the overall sequence was at. Where I thought we were at and where I thought we were going. It was an okay trade. I took the money off at the bottom, enough to lock in the trade. I could have lost on this trade by holding the entire position as we broke down, just like, no, it's going to zero. I didn't. I secured my trade by selling here, and it doesn't matter. I kind of scalped half quarter sizes in here, but I sold into the position. So no matter what, I was right because I made my money here. And then I put a stop above VWAP, and I basically didn't get stopped out until here. I got stopped out somewhere in here. And I overall on the trade, I think I made 500. I made a little bit of money on it. I made decent amount on it. Could have made more, but it's not about that. End of day push was crazy. It was about the trade and the trade idea and letting the trade work and understanding what possible price action and overall sequence you were in. What sequence are we in during the day? That's good. There are multiple sequences that you can be in. You can be in a bullish trend, a bearish trend, a consolidation. Where are we at on the day? Where are we at right now? What do I need to happen to enter a trade? What am I looking for? What is my target? Is my target a quick scalp? What is my stop? If right now you are trading the C strategies, which are just in a sense an observation of how price moves and pullbacks and when the market goes higher and when some of these things happen, and a place to buy them, a simple, easy, effective way to trade breakouts. That's what I see them as, a simple, easy, effective way that works, that can help a noob, a simple person, and a professional trade price action and movement. The C strategies give you a way as a beginner to do that, where you can look at a chart and easily identify when does this happen. There's no complicated stuff to it. You don't need to understand all of this stuff. Now, eventually, I think you do need to get to the point of understanding this stuff, especially in a tough market. But if what you're looking for in Tesla is like, hey, I'm going to trade the first Mark 1 in a bullish or bearish sequence, not in consolidation, in a bullish or bearish sequence. We're above the first 2-minute 21. We're running up with volume. We can tell we're strong. When's the first Mark 1? You could have taken some of these that were really close and made money, but when's the first Mark 1? And you take that and you let the trade work or fail. And then you do the first 8, which is here, and you let that work or fail. And then you do the first 21 and you let that work or fail. That is a simple way to identify buy points within a bullish sequence to make money. And your target does not have to be extreme. Your target does not have to be the whole 127 pip. It does not have to be anything. It needs to be whatever you need to make it. And your stop loss needs to be whatever you can make it. But it needs to be realistic for the market, and your size needs to be realistic for the market and what you think the trade needs to succeed. There are times when things are slowing down that instead of taking 20 contracts, like you saw in my video the other day of Tesla, I take 5 contracts. And I say, you know what I need? I need to take this, and I need to give myself a point to a point and a half of room of move, like we're within somewhere in here, and I think we're going to chop around. We're still in a bullish sequence. We haven't hit target. We're in on the day. Let's say I've identified this. I've identified this, and we pulled down and we went up, and I'm somewhere in here and it's chopping around. And I'm like, you know what? This is near the 127. Let's pretend it's not there, that it's down here. And let's say that we're chopping around, and I'm like, you know what? We triggered. I want to get in this and I want to give it room to work. I'm going to size down to where I'm not shaking out of this. We're kind of choppy right now, but we're in a bullish sequence, and I think we're going to go. Which is actually what I did today. Here. No. Excuse me. Here, because this This is like 3 minutes in Tesla, and it's pretty choppy here. And I scalped it initially, and then I got back in, and I think I had like 20 contracts on one pop here. And I sized down. I'm like, you know what? I think we're going higher. We hit the 21. I'm going to size down. I took 10 contracts, and I said, I'm going to give this a point to a 1.5 against me, because I was fairly green on the day, risk reward on the day, the trade management. I could have lost 2 points on this trade. I still would have been green. I was fine on 10 contracts. I figured I could make it back. The risk reward was there. It was early in the day. And I was like, I'm going to give this a point or so. I'm going to let it test the 21 again if it needs to. I'm going to let this go. I'm not selling these contracts. And as long as it doesn't break the 21 and go, I'm going to hold this on the 1 minute. I'm going to hold this and let it go. That could be 2 contracts for you. It could be 5. It doesn't matter. It was 10 for me today at this point. And I held it. And this doesn't always happen. But then this happened. And it was like a 4-point trade. And then I got out. We hit the 127 pivot. And I was out of the trade. You have to understand where you're at in price sequence, what the idea is, what you're looking for, and what you need to make your trade work. A trade idea, a trade target, and then what you need to allow that to work, and knowing you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. Like, that is part of this. I'm wrong every day. Like, I'm wrong every day. I make trades that don't work. I lose every single day. My Apple trade where I showed it, I ended up losing in it. Not overall, but I ended up losing in it. As far as the overall idea, it didn't hit final target because I thought there was a good chance maybe we sell off at the end. Who knows? Let's see. It ends up not selling off. The market runs. And instead of having a gap fill, I get stopped out. That's okay. I don't mind. I liked the trade. I thought it was a good trade. Thought it was a good idea. I took it. I did risk management. I sold some of my contracts. And then I sat there for literally 3 or 4 hours in freaking Apple puts, which I'm just like, this is so stupid. But it wasn't. I knew the idea of the trade, but I'm just like, come on, for crying out loud. And I ended up getting stopped out, and that's completely okay because I think a lot of times, maybe 7 out of 10 times, that trade, that setup on a day in an overall bear market, I think a lot of times we gap fill there, and I'd be up 20 grand today. I'd be sitting here up 20 grand because I was very, very heavy in those puts. Didn't happen, and that was fine. I sold, and I didn't have a lot of risk at the end, but it would have been a freaking pretty good day. It wasn't. But you have to have those ideas and that target about all of these things play a picture in the big overall picture. So the C strategies that you do, the simple ways that you trade, are down here, and they're part of what is happening within a sequence, but they don't control the sequence. You're like, oh, every time it hits, the algos aren't buying or they're not doing this. Where are you at in the overall sequence? Where are we at? And I'm just using, you can use fibs, you can use measured moves. Where are we at? What do I need to get there? Where are the support and levels? If I look left, what are we at? What's happening in the market? Are we just grinding and we're just consolidation and I need to walk away? You know, I respect CT so much. The dude's like, yo, it's 10:30. I'm done, guys. I'm done. I made my money. I'm good. I'm bouncing. Yo, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's where it's at. And you can do that. What's your plan coming in? What are you looking for? You make your money. Okay, how do you protect your money? What's your risk on this trade? What do you need for this trade to work? All this is happening within seconds, you know, and very active OODA loop. What's your OODA loop on your trade and what you're looking for? Are you taking every 1 minute breakout on a bull run like this, like me? Or are you slowing down and are you waiting for, you know what, I'm just going to take it off the 8 every time. I'm just going to take it off the 21 the first time it hits. I'm going to take 5 trades, something like that, and lock it in. After we pull back on our first run up on the 2 minute, I'm just going to watch the 2 minute chart on multiple names that are strong. And if you guys are like, oh, blah, 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 the first leg is so hard to trade for me. All right, Tesla, super strong. Amazon was difficult today in a sense. But Amazon, oh, look at this. Look what we have here. Oh, my goodness, we have this. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. It's so hard to trade. I don't understand how to get the price action. Don't trade the first leg if you're not good at trading the first leg. Trade the second leg. Look at this. First leg's done. We pull into a moving average. Boom. Amazon. 127 pivot. So anywhere in here, you could be playing moving averages. You could be playing 1 minute breakouts. Why? We're now, after we pull back, consolidated, had a 2 minute green takes red. We're now in a bull move to 127 unless something happens. I just showed you what happened in Texas or Tesla. Throw out another name. What other names are strong? Square, not really. I don't like Square. We're in a consolidation here. You could even do it here. Here's a good example of something that failed. Or something that didn't do it. I generally haven't been trading Square, but I'm just throwing this one up. Here and here. So you hit, this would actually be a fail. So you would go here. No, this is a sloping. So you break below the 21, you come back up into it. This isn't one. But you could do this, and then let's say, where's your breakout? Your breakout's here, and you pull back in, you go below, you get stopped out really quick. So it doesn't work. You get stopped out really quick. You leave the name, and you're like, oh, I'm done with it. Like, you don't want to trade this anymore because you didn't have it. So this is it when it doesn't work. Here's a good example. This is it when it doesn't work. We come down, we pull down to the moving average on the 2 minute. We're below the 21, not into the 21. We bounce into it. This is now kind of resistance. We break a little bit higher and then you're out. You should get stopped out somewhere in here and realize that this isn't a bullish sequence anymore and get out of this name. And then we're just in consolidation to the end. Although we do actually end up hitting our, this is backwards, hang on. I think we do end up probably hitting our, we at least get back to the top of that, but we don't hit it. Yeah, there you go. So you get back to the top of the 100, but this is a good example of a failed one. So this is what happens, and you take a loss on some of these, but it's okay because it's actually part of your plan. You know, you didn't actually hammer off the 21 here, which would have been nice, which, you know, obvious artist, you're saying. You didn't hammer off the 21 and go higher. You hammered and you failed to break out, went down. So this would be a good example of a weak name with not good price action. Good strong bull move. You're like, I like Square. I would have liked this chart. Maybe. I don't like these big candles on this name. But you do this. You come in here. You go a little bit higher. Oh, this is your problem here, actually. You came down here and you don't make a new high on your first pullback. But you come down here. You hit the 21 on the 2 minute and you fail. You know. If you want a name, you usually need to hit the 8. There you go, hit the 8, make a higher. You could buy on the 1 minute. Here's your 8, and you could definitely take that 8 here. For know your limit 8 to the high side. Let's look at another name. Let me delete this because I'm going to forget to delete it. Let's look at some other names. What are some strong names today? I did Amazon, I did Tesla. What other names did we trade? Let's look at the 2 minute chart on these names. AMC, nah, I just ran up straight. I'm not trading DWAC. I don't trade Twitter. Google, same thing. Concept works. We pull into the 8 after a move. We break out on a 2 minute. It was more of a flag than a pull in. And actually, I think this would be your move, maybe. Maybe not, but you pull in. Mitchell was on this name all day today. First time you hit the no yield limit 8 on a bull move. So we're in a bull move here. Bullish price action. Bullish price action. We consolidate sideways instead of even pulling in. We're not even digesting down. We're just going sideways. We hit the 8 and then we run. And we hit the 168 pivot. Super strong. For your second leg. Trade the second leg off of the 8. Tesla, already did that one. GME to the downside, you can do it to the downside. I might short some GME next week, guys. Let's see, we're up, we're down. Where would I fib this one if I was fibbing something? When we hit the 21, this looks weird. It might just be my chart. You just ride the 8 down in this name. On which one? GME? Like here? Like this? Or you're saying right channel? There's your, after your first, so there's your full move. So there's your full move. You pull back into the 50% retracement, which guess what move that is in GME? If you're like, oh, I like GME short. Oh, look, it hit the 50% retracement. And then of the first leg down, which was the 2 minute 21 and the 2 minute 200. This is a beautiful short. I wish I was watching this. And then look at this price action down, and you never get stopped out, and you actually hit the 168, and you just ride the 8 down. Look at that. Nice tight channel down. Beautiful. How do you identify what your overall move is and what you're in? Meta. I did not trade Meta because of this level. I watched Meta, and I didn't like it because of the 169. I thought we were going to consolidate there and pull off of it. So I didn't actually go long meta the second time. And again, this is a very bullish sequence that's out of, this is out of kind of key with the market in a sense of like the way it ran up this morning was weird in the market. And I kind of felt that. And so I was kind of cautious on the second one. But look at Meta, same thing, pull down into the 8 on the 2 minute, runs off of it. We're in bullish price action. I missed this whole leg. I'm going to FOMO and chase. No, I'm going to wait for it to pull into the 8, and then I'm going to take it off of the 8, and then I'm going to sell it into resistance. Oh my goodness. God, this is so hard. This is so difficult to locate what type of price action we're in. I didn't like this name. I didn't like Microsoft today. But, you know, you gap up, you do here. You, in a short, in a sense, guys, even on a name like this is what I mean with take stuff off. So let's say you trade Microsoft. Let's say you trade Microsoft. I'll make this stupid simple. Let's say you trade Microsoft. This is an example of why you take profits and you don't hold to the 127. Two things. One, we're already in the second move because of the level of this gap up. For Microsoft, this is a big gap up. You're like 2-3 points, so you should recognize this big gap up. We're extended off the 200. So this is not a compressed gap up where I don't consider it a leg. You're way off the 200. So this is like extension. So this is like your second leg. So this is your third leg, which doesn't always hit the 127 pivot. That's more of a smaller thing. But that being said, you're in it. It pulls back down. On your third leg, you don't always hit 127. You at least put 100 to make a double top. You take profits. Almost always I take profits if I'm holding a trade into the top. Because a lot of times that's your resistance. And if I'm wrong, I would rather like get out here, some of it, and then, you know, break even or take a little bit less on the second half than overall lose on my trade or break even when I should have made a lot. So look at this. You're like, oh my goodness, how could I have traded Microsoft today? I don't know. There's your 50% pivot. You're pulling down. You didn't hit the 21. Again, I didn't like Microsoft. I wouldn't have taken this, but, you know, yeah, I would have taken it here off the 8, and then you would have been wrong, and you get out and you go trade something else. You know, and then maybe you try to get at the 50% or the 21. What's the next name we trade? You can throw out names that we trade if you want to, guys. Let's do it in the Qs. Oh my God, I don't know how to trade the Qs. I have no idea. Excuse the language. Sorry. I don't know how to trade the Qs. I have absolutely no idea what to do. I missed the first move. What's going to happen if I just sit here for 15 freaking minutes in the morning and I don't trade? I'm 15 minutes in. We have the first leg in the first 15 minutes. We pull back to the 8, and oh my word, look what's happened. We actually have a green takes red on the 2 minute off of the 8, and it hits the 161 pivot. Oh man, it's almost like these stupid numbers work for some reason. And I don't even know why they work. I don't even care because I'm an idiot crayon eating moron. But hey, they work, and it did that. And you just trade the second leg. Yeah, I get paid to ask questions after it's done. Why do I care? There's how you find the type of price action that you're in. I don't need to be rambling or preaching, but I'm just throwing this up on every move. All you have to do, look at NVIDIA, another name. I didn't trade this name today. I have no idea how this lines up. Here's is that your first leg? Where are we at? I'm not saying you hold everything to target. And I'm going to get to the reason I'm talking about this. Look at NVIDIA. You run up. Okay, you pull back into the 8. As you're pulling back here, you identify that we're pulling back. Oh my goodness, look what happened. Oh, how? It's freaking magic. Oh my goodness. Gary's a magician. Gator's a magician. Burn him at the stake. Burn him at the stake. He doesn't know, whatever. I'm from the future. I could tell what happens. Not really. I'm being facetious a little bit. Yeah, it's fib retracement. It's just how you get a target. So again, I'm not saying hold everything to that 161. I'm not saying take 100 contracts and hold it there. What I'm saying, are we in a bullish sequence? Yes. Are we pulling back? Yes. Fib. All right. Did we hit a moving average like the 8 or the 21? Let's say the 8 the first time. Yes. We had a 2 minute green takes red. We are now, until proven wrong, at minimum to the previous 100%, to the top of the previous candle, we are in bullish action to at minimum the 121 or 127 pivot, possibly to the 168 at the max extension. Well, Con, at the first leg on all these moves are 15 minutes. except for this one. Some of these are 15 minutes. If I go back, and I get what you're saying, bro, and I feel you, and that's definitely a hard part of it. But find ones that are that. I feel you, man, for sure. But look at that. Like, the idea here now is what type of price action are we in? So now we are in, yes, I do. Look up the one I do with Kelly W. So now, when you get this explosion, what are you in? You're now in bullish price, a bullish overall move. Now let's zoom in and let's see what happens on the 1 minute. So for you guys, like, I don't want to hold things. I don't care. I don't hold everything. I enter trades to scalp sometimes. Okay, what are we doing? Where are we at? All right, we are now in what could be considered a bullish price sequence. Okay, what am I looking for when I get an explosion of volume for a chart reset? C strategies. If all you want to do is scalp, and you're like, I don't want to do anything but scalp. One, I don't know why you wouldn't take this one. It's not really a C strategy, but really, come on, take this 1 minute breakout. Like really, you do this, you break out, you chop around, you're right at the level, and you start taking out. You should probably take this trade. You don't have to. If you're like, I'm only taking official C strategies, guys, only official. That's fine. You do you. I take everything. We're here. Here's your first Mark 1 after a chart reset. So you have here, look, you gap up, you do this. Here's your first know your limit 8. Oh my God, it worked. Excuse language, sorry. Oh, it worked. Oh, wait, pull back down. First time it hit the 21 on the 1 minute. It worked. Oh man. Mark 1, after this, your reset, which is after this pivot. It worked. There's another Mark 1. That's not a chart reset, so that's not a Mark 1. You have to have a chart reset if you get the original rules. It worked. All right, we're at target. I'm done for the day in this name. Taking this name off my list, hit the 161. That's the max amount. And this was slightly over it, so that'd kind of be a sus trade. But there you go. Sorry, head's in the way. I'll keep my face off the screen anyway. I was saying that here's your 8, your first, I don't even know what I was talking about. Just the 21 here. After you gap up and you pull off the 8, you pull back into it. You ride the 8, you pull off, you're back into the 8, you're into the 21. Might have been this one. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. And I'm not even saying NVIDIA per se. I don't trade NVIDIA. Netflix. What happened in Netflix today? I'm just going through this to show you guys the concept of what I'm talking about. And the concept of the video I did last week with Geronimo, the video that all the videos I've done since then has all been on this overall topic of price action and identifying where you're at, because C strategies work. These things work, but they work within an overall time frame and an overall trade idea and an overall movement of price. And you're just finding places to get in where you as an individual psychologically, with the size and everything else, can actually take a trade, enter the trade, hold the trade, and make money. The C strategies are a way to play the movement, the price. I'm getting too loud. I'm going to wake my kids up. A way to play what is happening that is psychologically safe for most people. Because it's simple, easy, and effective. But you have to be in a bullish or bearish sequence to play those. You can't be in here and be like, well, let me see. I'm going to use an example on the 1 minute, and then I'll answer the 1 or 2 minute question. All right, so we're in we're in this move. I'm going to use an example. I'm going to find an example. I don't know. I'll just use this one. So we're up here. I'm going to say we came off the 21 here, and we retest the 21. This is even a good one. I can't even find one. I mean, all these... It's not saying when you're in consolidation that you buy every single 1 minute breakout or every single bar that closes one above the other ones. Some of us might have those bad habits because we actually used to just buy every 1 minute breakout and make money all day. That's not happening now. So you have to identify them. You know, you can't just go in and just buy every 1 minute breakout and expect it to run to day highs. Like if you're just zooming in here, and we're using Netflix, pretend it's Tesla, or I can just go over to Tesla since that's the name we all freaking trade. You know, you can't just be in this type of price action and expect every 1 minute breakout to get you through day highs. So let's say we're right here. and we're going down, and we're gapping back up. Oh my goodness, we're not gapping up, moving up. We're going to go to day highs. Why didn't this break out? Why didn't this break out? Look, it went up and then it came down and hit the 8. There's no trade here. We're not in an overall bullish move. What are we doing on the day? Draw a line. What are we doing on the day? Like, what are we doing? I feel like JR could be on here and then I could stop talking and let him rant. Like what are we doing? I don't even know. Like we're not, I don't even know how to draw these type of stuff very well. I've got to work on my chart drawing skills. This is where I need people. I'm too dumb to draw lines sometimes. Way too dumb to draw lines. What are we in? You're like, why can't I make money? I'm giving everything up in Tesla. What are we in here? What does this look like to you? Does this look like an orderly move off of freaking like moving averages in a direction up and down for 3 legs? No, this is just chop fest and sideways action. Consolidation for a move up or down later in the day. Maybe. At least until the 2-minute 200 catches up. Usually when I see this, I can walk away until the 2-minute 200 catches up. Like, no joke, I can literally just be like, I'm going to wait for the 2-minute 200 to get up here, and that's when the move's going to happen. We're either going to show something bearish like Apple did and flush, or we're just going to have something consolidate and do this. Where are you at? Identify where you're at by looking left on the chart, by practicing like midday, doing your fibs. What happened? Oh, we didn't actually like retest negative. Like in Tesla the other day, if Tesla would have done what it did the other day, we would have seen this. We would have bounced up. We would have pulled back in. Let's assume this happens, and this is fine. We break down. When we come back up into the 21, we go down, and we go down to a pivot. We hit the 21 again, and we go down for our third leg lower. That didn't happen, and it didn't happen here, and then it didn't happen here. You're done with all the strategies and stuff. You now have to realize you're in consolidation. We put in a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. We're not putting in really lower lows. We're kind of basing here. We're going to consolidate and go sideways. Stop trying to play the breakouts or breakdowns. Walk away. Unless you have a trade, an idea, something you can see that's going to make your money. There's no strategy that's trading in here. You're just buying stuff and selling, hoping that you make money. Sometimes I do make money in here. When I see this, sometimes I sit here and I just like throw up like a horizontal line and I kind of figure out where stuff's going and I just short every time it gets close. So I just look for this and I just short. Oh man, I'm being too loud. One of my kids is waking up. I'm about to have to run. And I just sit here and I'm like, and I sit here for 30 minutes. Look how much long this time. This is 11:15 to 12 o'clock. So I don't buy anything for 45 minutes and I just chill. And I assume we're in consolidation. I wait for us to get up here and then I wait for selling in a 2-minute breakdown or a 1-minute breakdown or something. Here we are. And I wait for something like this and I short it. Because I see this little shooting star, I see it near this line, and I'm just like, I'm short, and I just short back into the 21. I don't make a ton of money. I take 5 to 10 contracts, and I catch a point or two on the trade, and then I'm out. I don't even try to go to the lows. Because my assumption is we're going to be compressing, and we're not going to make higher highs or lower lows, and we're going to go like this. And then I wait for it to come back down. In this particular price action, I would wait for it to get to VWAP roughly an hour later, and I just sit here and I BS with JR, and I say things to piss people off. And I wait for it to get down, and then once it gets to VWAP, I notice, hang on, this is higher than this high. This kind of matches what I'm seeing overall. We're making higher lows. We're coming into VWAP. I'm going to watch the level 2 here like I talked about in my level 2 reading video. All right, we're popping up some. I'm going to try a little bit of a long here, at least into the 21. I'm going to catch 50 cents on 5 to 10 contracts. All right, I'm up $200 to $500. All right, I'm done. And yeah, sure, you can keep going here. Yeah, you could put a stop below VWAP, and you could say, I think it's going to get back to the highs. Sure, if that's your trading strategy, go for it. I'm not saying not to. I'm saying know your trading strategy, what you're comfortable with, where you're at, how long you want to hold a trade, what you're looking for, what type of price action you're looking for. You can do it. You have to be able to identify these things. If all you're doing is like, oh, we're not taking Mark 1, or not. Yes, we are. I don't necessarily do that all the time when I'm on the mic because I'm an aggressive trader when things are running up. I'm smashing the crap out of names. I'm doing different things. I take more trades than I call out on the mic. I call the ones out that I think are high conviction. I probably take 30 more trades in between the trade like stuff. I do a lot of stuff I don't call out because it's not something that I think really can work or really can help people. I try to call out stuff that I think is helpful. There are Mark 1s. There are these trades. If all you want to do is take 5 trades or 3 trades, I can identify in any bull run 5 trades you could take to make money. The C strategies. Just trade the C strategies the first time they trigger and only the first time they trigger in a bullish sequence on the first or second leg when they're going, and you'll be good. You can make money. So all in all, those still exist. The problem is identifying them, and as a trader being in that mental state to chill and identify them. And maybe I should have said this on a different night, and maybe I'll talk about this again. And I've been rambling for a while, so I'm going to cut it. I've been going for a bit. I'm not done, but I'll take questions or anything else. So Nate, I don't have a 3-minute chart. I have a 5-minute chart, and I've only been going between the 1 and 2-minute chart. So as a general rule, I, for the most part, watch the 2-minute chart. Yeah, zoom out what JR is saying, what Rooftop Trader's saying, what Geronimo's saying. Yo, if you're going to hang out, you just got to come on the show, man. What's up on you? I'm just kidding. You don't have to. I feel like you work way too much, dude. You're like the man who works, like, you work an incredible amount for this community. I absolutely love you, brother. I trade on 1 and 2-minute charts. I also have a 5-minute chart. You're good, dude. Too many Heinekens. I didn't want to text you tonight because I didn't want to bother you. I mean, I was texting you, but I wasn't going to be like, come on, you came on last week and we always go late. So I have this chart up during the day, guys, and I'm getting more screen real estate to add new stuff. But these are the other charts I'm looking at. A 1-minute, a 5-minute, a 1-minute, a 2-minute, a 5-minute, and a 15-minute, which is an hourly and a 15. As the day goes on, I switch this to an hourly to get an idea of where I'm at. And because I have this over here, I can hit spacebar or the down button. And I can just skim through my hourlies to see where I'm at on things. And then I'll jump back to the 15-minute. But I have those 4 charts up. If you go to my chart setup video, you'll see everything that I have here. You can just go watch that video. It'll tell you what I have. So I'm going to be getting the Odyssey G9, the Neo Odyssey G9 actually. So I'm going to get 2 of them. I'm going to stack them. I'm going to get a Neo G9 at the 240 hertz, like refresh, whatever, on the bottom. And then my top monitor is going to be the same monitor, but it doesn't need to be 240 hertz because that really only needs to be for my bottom one. So the top one will be one of the cheaper ones, like the, 140 hertz or whatever. So Anya, I have this chart, this up on my screen at all times with the name that I'm trading. And then I also have this chart, or this has different tabs on the bottom, 1 and 2-minute. So based on the time of day I switch. As the day goes on, I really only look at the 2-minute, but I do look at the 1-minute too, and I'll jump around between like hourly and stuff here because I have the kind of hotkeys like this that I can click on. You can't see it now because I have this condensed on another screen because of how I'm recording the show. But this is a little bit bigger, and I can see everything really well, and I can jump between like all these different time frames if I want to. But generally speaking, I'm looking at the 1-minute and the 2-minute. It just depends on the time of day and the name. But it depends on what strategy you're trading. I trade off the 1-minute early in the first move because I'm looking for the 1-minute 8 and 1-minute 21 test. But the reason I'm talking about this and this aspect tonight is you need to be able to zoom out from what you're doing to see, what do I have behind me? Oh, my wife's jacket. You have to see the overall spot that you're in the overall movement. And tape reading doesn't do you any good if you don't understand that. And price action, like all the stuff I've talked about and JR talked about last week and I talked about in the last several shows I've done and movie and things I've done up to, don't do you any good if you don't understand where you're at. And if you're someone who doesn't want to hold to target, which is good and okay and not bad, you just need to understand a strategy that you're taking, and you can't let, so let's go back to NVIDIA, because here is here's kind of like a sequence or something here, got like a Allen wrench thing. I screw with stuff with my hands, mess around with stuff a lot. You can't buy this 1-minute, how do I say this? Don't let your scalps turn into swings and your swings turn into scalps. If you're like, I'm going to buy this, and then this starts running up and you get FOMO here in the middle of this candle, so you buy and then it pulls down on you, then you're scared, and then you wait till here to buy this one because you didn't buy this and you didn't buy this, but you think this is going to rip and you don't understand where you're at in the move overall, you can start messing up. So you just need to make sure that, and that's what the C strategies come into play, is it gives you a clearly defined level of entry, and it's not every single 1 minute breakout. So it's like, here you go, you don't really have an igniting sequence here. You're just kind of moving up off of this. And then you have here, you have your igniting sequence, you have your first mark one, and I don't trade NVIDIA, so I'm just using this as a general chart as an example. Yeah. Tape reading plus price action are the vowels, and consonants, patterns, and sequences are the story. And that is elegantly said. And you have to, if you just have a bunch of letters put together, it's like, we talk about traders being beginners and the C strategies working really well for them. And they work really well. But it's kind of like, it's kind of like a toddler talking. Brought to you by Heineken. I like it. What, no good bourbon tonight? No high quality Pappy? But those, that's a struggle, man. That's a struggle. So the vowels and the consonants are just part of what make up the sentence. But the sentence is what you're looking at, and you have to be able to put all of that together and put those vowels together and put all that stuff together to be able to see everything. And it's all part of that overall sentence structure, which is that overall trade. I call them, so the stuff that Jess is talking about, and what up, Jess? I think I still have to respond to your last message, dude. I got busy with moving in. I'm sorry I didn't get back, but I hope you're doing well, brother. So what I do, yeah, what JR is saying, the language of the market. So what I do is I'm finding ways, and the reason I'm doing some of this in the middle of the day, so let's use Tesla here as an example, is I'm trying to help other people get good entries and find ways, including myself, to play the price action that is taking place in front of me. So they are defined, Jess. And for others who don't say they're defined, what is defined is the bullish or bearish sequence that we're in. For instance, in Tesla, so I'm going to forget the first, well, I could say the first leg, but let's forget the first leg. Let's go to the second leg only. So let's go back to our 2-minute chart, and let's throw up our first leg, which could be here. It could also be here, but I'm going to throw it up at the top because then we pull down. And now we're going to go to the 1-minute chart, which is what I would do during the day. I would throw my 2-minute up, and now we're within a 1-minute chart, and let's say we miss this. The strategies where I'm buying at the candles, let's say that I got this, and now we broke out, we popped out, and we're down here. The strategy where I'm looking to buy here at the bottom of this candle, at the failed breakdown and the pop up, is an identification of the overall price action that we're in, and to use the bullish trend that we're in to a target, to the target at least of 735.50. So right now at the bottom of this, we have 3 points to go to get to what you would say is a decent target of that 127 pivot of the move. So we say we still have room. So I'm still in a bullish sequence. I still think the stock is moving up. I've identified these things. We are now, so I am, let's say, for those of you who are smarter than me, we are saying y'all instead of you all or something. We're finding another way to get us to here. We're abbreviating things. Instead of saying, observe, orient, decide, act, OODA loop, we're saying OODA loop. I'm saying we are in a bullish price sequence to this level. I am looking at entry points that I can get that are low risk, that I can enter until we get there. So on the move, let's say I'm not holding to this target, but I do want to play the move to that target. What entries give me the best probability of winning in a market that is sometimes more choppy because of less, I assume, what's the word I'm looking for? Less liquidity in the market. We're not running not big word, but market word. Less liquidity in the market. I am looking for entries that give me a high probability of winning with a minimal risk on a quick scalp, which is what you guys want, which is what you guys have wanted in the past, right? It's what I've wanted because it's what we were used to from 2020. Not necessarily healthy, but it's what we want. So you're at the bottom of here. Well, if we break down on this 1 minute chart, we might go back to the 8. But there's a good chance in a bullish sequence that we don't. Tesla is one of those names that very rarely, let's identify something that happened earlier here. This is how my mind works in this. How many times do we break in this bullish sequence? Do we actually break lower on a 1 minute chart than the previous candle? 1, 2, 3. So 3 candles broke lower in this bullish sequence until you get to here. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 6, 7, 8, 9, or 8, 9, whatever. Like 9, so 3 of the 9 candles went lower. What up, Eddie? My man, traveling from around the world. We got people tuning in. You in France or you in Greece? What up, brother? So you are in this overall sequence. So 3 of the 9 candles close lower. So statistically speaking, there is a chance that especially this name Tesla does not close lower. And this is a regular occurrence. Nice, dude. Sweet. Miss you, man. Looking forward to having you back. We had some Eddie moments today when we were like, man, Eddie would totally have something to say about what's happening right now in this news about travel and planes and different stuff, and you were not there for your rant. So definitely missed you over in T3, brother. Have fun. Enjoy the vacation, dude. So what I'm seeing and why I talk about this to you guys and why I call out these levels for the entry is I have identified generally speaking, that we are in a bullish sequence to a possible target. So the bullish, tacos for days. We are in a bullish sequence. Where can I get an entry at that gives me a probability of a quick scalp win, even if we don't break out and run, to where I can sell if I'm a scared trader and I'm just looking for 50 cents to 20 cents on a move? Where can I buy? That is what I'm doing, Jess, when I'm identifying these levels. When I post a video about buying at the bottom of this, it's not buying at the bottom of every 1 minute candle. Like once you hit this and you're at the 127, we have to wait for retracement. Like we hit the 127, we're going up. I'm not buying at the bottom of every one of this candle, expecting it to go higher. Like you take 2 or 3 losses, you stop. Are we in a new bullish sequence? No. All right, we're not buying at the bottom of every candle expecting it to go up. Here's the times I would buy at the bottom after, like, to front run the next bullish sequence. I'm not going to fib the whole line. We're just going to fib the next move. I would front run the next. So this went down with volume. I don't know if it stopped here, but I would probably front run this, because we broke down and we start breaking up and we're through the 160. So remember now, let me move my face out of the way. We are now talking about where within a price sequence, the sentence of what is happening in the market on the day, the sentence, the overall move, where are we at and what's happening? What is being said by the stock, to use JR's very eloquent? What is being said by the stock? Okay, this is the 167 retracement. There are other ways. I'm just using fibs. You can use other stuff. Where are we at? All right, nothing in here. We hit the 8 and we didn't break higher. So you hit the 8 here, you take this long, you didn't break higher. Okay, we're now done with the 8. We don't care about the 8. We're not front running. Oh man, I just moved my level. I don't even know what level that was. Oh man. I'll go back and watch the video and fix that level. Y'all let me know. But we hit this and we didn't go higher. Okay, I'm done. I'm not playing to the long side because we didn't break higher. I don't care about this 8 test here because we didn't go higher. We need a bigger time frame test. We need consolidation. A 2-minute green takes red. This is 1 minute. All right. I try here. Why? We hit the 61.8 retracement. All right, so the next like breakdown and break higher I'm going to try. So we failed a 1 minute breakdown. We broke higher. We broke up, and then it didn't work. You can either sell for a break even here or whatever you want to. So this is a safe trade. If this works, you could get a move because you're here. It didn't work. So I take a break even loss. When's the next time I want to enter? The only next time I want to enter is when the 50% retracement hits, because we've hit the 21 on the 2 minute. I don't know what we hit. We came near the 21 or something. But so the only time I might want to take one more front run is around the 50% retracement. So when we pull down and we do something like this or this, I might try a front run because we're actually, there's an actual breakout. There's actually something here because we hit this level. So then it's selecting those specific levels within a day and within the overall sentence of the market and the overall picture that the market is giving you of where I can enter with the least amount of risk to even if I'm wrong, make money. And the goal is even if I'm wrong, make money. Thanks, JC. I don't even know. I wasn't that far off. Edit 7:35:11. I gotta see what this pivot even is. I don't even know. It's not colored, so yeah, dude, that is so money. I know I was in this trade too. If I get a 50% retracement and a hammer candle like this, so this is one you definitely take. Honestly, I probably take this one too on this little pop-up, and I take a small loss here, and then I probably take one here and I make more than I lost on this one. Just being honest with you, I don't mind. And then you go up and you fail, and you're like, once you break back below the 21, I'm done. And actually, Kelly called this one too. I actually did take this one. I actually remember, guys, I took this one and I called a level. So if you guys remember, I actually called this trade. And I gave a target, and Kelly told me that my target should actually just be 738 and not to get greedy. He said, don't glean the fields. I said target was, if we were going to be in a bull run, was 742.17 down here, because we hit the 50% retracement and we hammered. Green takes red. I was in this trade. I sold some of this trade as we were here because I was like a point up in it, and I had 20 contracts, and I sold 10 of them like I did the other day because I'm a point up. Now I'm a grand up. And then I was like, I'm going to hold the rest of these, some of them to here, and Kelly convinced me to sell them here, but they never got here. They came back down here, and I sold as we broke the 21, because to me, I'm like, oh, we didn't. If we would have pulled down and hit the 21, we would have been in the still bullish sequence. JR has wider stops. Kelly has wider stops. I like my stops tighter, and I missed some trades, but to me, I made on the second half of this trade. And it's not wrong and it's not right. Your stop could have been down here. If your stop was down here, you probably made more anyway, because then it came back up here. And then I don't know what you did there. So, see you yep, happy trading, brother. Thanks, happy traveling for you. Hope you enjoy it, man. You deserve it. It's good to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So you see that overall happening. And you could have sold it here, and then as you broke back out, whatever it is. But the idea, Jess, and for everyone else who is watching, is within the what is happening, how can I join? If I'm not going to be a trader that buys something that takes 10 contracts, 5 contracts, 3 contracts, sells one initially, sells one at 50% of my target, and sells one when I get to target, something like that, and I'm going to play the move, you're not going to get 10 Mark 1s within a sequence in some of these names. You're going to get 1 or 2. So you either need to be okay with just taking the first Mark 1, know your limit 8, know your limit 21 within a bullish sequence and calling it a day, or you have to learn when to buy within the sequence to ride that wave that is happening as a surfer. So sorry for the rambling, guys, if I went a little bit too long there on that topic. But that's these videos of me like, this is where you buy. This is like, hey, guys, I'm waiting for a pull down. I probably have a fib pulled up. I probably have like the different moving averages pulled up. I might be looking at an hourly and all this, and I'm looking for these support levels to hit, or some of these things right here. And I see, obviously, this level worked, whatever it was here. And so I'm taking all that into consideration, and I say, okay, we're in a bullish price sequence to this level. How can I ride this, and where can I get in on this train? It's not a C strategy because it's not simple, easy, and effective. It is a way to participate in the price in the move without holding it. And it's riskier than the other stuff. But I know people aren't just going to hold. So how do I play that? You know, or you can just be like Kelly and you can do that. But guess what? Sometimes you're going to have this happen and it's not going to work. And what did Kelly say today, guys, when he lost? He said, I lost on 3 trades. I'm done. Follow your rules and it'll keep you profitable. If you're going to do stuff where you hold longer, like Khan was saying earlier, he's been trading stuff, holding longer, some work, some don't. You have to understand some of this stuff. Okay, we're in consolidation. We're in this. Am I just holding for the right reasons? Am I holding to target? Has a trade failed? Is the trade still working? Where am I at? You know, I go back to Apple today. You know, Apple was in this. I told you what this looked like. Go back earlier in the video. I shorted. I sold half of my trades down here. I had plus 100 contracts in this. I sold most of them. And then it came back up here. I bought back in full size when we broke down. And then I sold some more. And I was pretty much full green on the trade. So I said, I'm just going to leave this. And I left half position of my original size. And I was just in it literally until here. And I got stopped out when we broke above VWAP. And then I was done. And this happened. My idea for the trade was different overall and blah, 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 blah. But I had a plan for the idea. I executed it in a way that made me money and that was safe and that, you know, all this other stuff. But you have to have that into your trade and all that other stuff if you're going to hold longer and understand that the longer you're in something, the overall greater the chance of losing is, of stuff going different, you know, necessarily wrong if you don't have the idea of the price action that is taking place. And as, you know, JR said, if I scroll back up, you know, the tape reading, the price action are just the vowels and the consonants, and the pattern and the overall sequence that you're in is a bullish sequence. Go back to 2020. You guys made money on every single breakout because we're in a bullish sequence. We're not in an always bullish sequence right now, or a bearish sequence, so you can't always make the same money on every single candle. So you're only going to get a few actual C strategies, and that's it. And then 2 of them aren't going to work. If you only have 5, 2 of them aren't going to work very well. So you just have to make sure that you know that you understand where you're at when you're taking trades, the overall stuff. And so that's what these last videos from when I said I'm back, my I'm back video. JR, the one I did with JR, I think was one of the better ones that him and I have done as far as, I don't know. I think every one we do, dude, like every time we do one, I feel like it's better than the last one. I don't know. But was really good when it comes to price action and movement and identifying that stuff. And then the 2 videos I uploaded this week, including I think the middle one, the live show I did, I asked some questions. Anya had some questions I answered, and I think some of that was decent and about all this kind of stuff. And then this show, there's this overall arching picture that I want you to be able to see to identify when you're taking the trades and when you're not. So 2 days this week, the 2 days I uploaded those videos, you had days where Tesla was following and it was going and it was doing what you wanted it to, and the price action was smooth, and you bought the 21 up and down, and you had 3 legs in both directions, and all this stuff. Super easy in my opinion to trade if you just waited for your trade. And then you had a day like today. Yeah, you played it aggressive early to the long side because we were running like I did. You're good. You're up mid 4 figures or whatever. And then you give about a quarter to a half of it back. Because then some of the stuff doesn't work. You can make some back if you play the right names later in the day. And that's just how it is. You have to accept that, realize what type of thing you're in, find trades to fit that day, what sentence, what paragraph, what book is being written by the market, and what are you doing? Are you in line with that day? Are you in a bullish or bearish sequence? Or are you in a consolidation sequence or something else that's happening? And I could try to define them, but I think I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop. We do riff hard, dude. We go off sometimes. Oh, I need to put on my 90s, since you're here, I need to put on my like 90s murderer glasses or 80s murderer glasses vibes. These square big frames. I've got to get some different ones. Oh, they do help your eyes though. Yeah, you're welcome, Anya. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Y'all got questions, comments, concerns? It's 11:30. Unabomber. That's it. Yeah, Unabomber. Except I bomb the market sometimes. Sometimes the market bombs me. Market smacks me around sometimes too. Oh, you're welcome, Elizabeth. I've got to get back in the gym, guys. I'm getting small. I'm losing all my gains. Yeah, Google, dude. I made money in Google today. Mitchell freaking dominated this name. I wish I jumped in this. I was trading Tesla. I should have played Google. I really should have played Google. Such a crazy name. Oh, one of my kids waking up. So strong when it was flagging here. I almost got in it. I don't remember why I didn't. I might have taken Tesla. Man, if I could have gotten there and held that. This is one of those FOMO trades. Yeah. This was one of those FOMO trades hard. I saw this. I knew I couldn't chase it because I would get wrecked. But I really wanted to chase this name so hard. I did play it some later in the day as we consolidated. And towards the end of the day, I actually caught some of this move here. Once we went higher and we consolidated into the 1 minute 21, and I think we had the 2 minute. When we got in here, I played some of this. I caught some of this move here at the end of the day. Not a lot of it, and I wasn't heavy. But I made back some of the Apple. I was like, stupid Apple, and I traded this instead. Yeah, Google on the daily. I have this line here. I'm not sure. That one, 2, 3, 7, 55, 50. Google could launch this double bottom. Where do you think we're going? You think we're going up to the you think we're going up to the 200? Make a nice move up to here. 300 points. If we do 100 points a day, we can get there in 3 days, man. Just continue this bullish sequence. What do you think about GME, JR? Yeah. I believe you, actually. I think we could easily... Yeah. Is that a measured move? No, we knew it's a measured move. Ha. Ha. I figured out your freaking strength. Look at that, though. Look at that. You guys want to see? Look at that. Look at that beautiful little right there. I know your secret. It's not a secret. Dude, the power of squares. As I tell you, it's a crayon eating simpletons like us. Well, you don't eat crayons. You just make fun of me for eating them. But, the crayon, like the simple, like the market's not that complicated. Like it is in a sense, if you get into like, if you get into the like the nitty gritty and like the mathematics of it and understanding like, but you said it once on one of the shows, it's probably one of the first ones you did with me. You can either like, if you read the first 10 minutes of like the trading books, you'll get everything you need to know, and the rest of it is just like, you know, unless you're writing a doctorate, it doesn't matter. But doesn't this to you, I could be wrong, and I'm not a chart expert when it comes to stuff like this, but doesn't this look like an inverse or a head and shoulders? Like, you know, here, higher, here's a lower pivot, and then you have your neckline down here. Don't we have like and now we have a breakdown? For a nice short all the way back to, like I'm not sure if that's exactly what this is, because I'm not, I'm not that kind of person. Dude, it looks extremely bearish to me with what the market is doing and GME. So I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, you know what? What name is the most speculative name that people that don't have money were putting their money in and stuff? Is GME. And for a little bit there, like we held the 200, but then we've been under the 200. We bounced above it, ripped below the 200 on the daily. And now we can't even break above it. And the market is rallying and GME can't go. And you have this like, I could see GME getting below $100. Should I call this so I could brag on Twitter or something that I call GME short and I'll just post it and be like, GME short next week, guys. And then I'm going to be like, I told you so. Follow me for all your market news and analysts. I get these right like 10% of the time. I'm right 100% of the time. Follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, so I get, you know, clout and stuff because America Gator says to do it. A jacuzzi video. Oh, dude, I don't have a jacuzzi though. I can make a lake video. There's a dude with a, he has a, what's the pontoon boat jet ski mix things? What are they called? What are they called? It's a mix of a pontoon, not a jet ski, but a speedboat and a pontoon. Let's Google this. Hype. What's it called? Tri-tune. Tri-tune. It's called a tri-tune. So I'm gonna ask him if I can make a video for my YouTube channel on his tri-tune. It's a mix of a speedboat and a pontoon boat. I'm like, yo, dude, can I sit? Like, he's got like an infinity pool that goes out to our lake. Our lake, like it's mine, it's not my lake. And it goes out to the lake, and then he's got a tri-tune, so I could film some in his like infinity pool and then walk down to his and pretend like it's mine in the tri-tune, like, yo, dude, can I make some videos on this to get people to like my YouTube stuff, because people be hating out there, and then like sit in the tri-tune and be on the lake and make videos and pretend like I'm trading. Full scammy guru up in this place. Like if you knew how to read charts. And really, I don't do anything. Like, I don't know anything. I just repeat what you say and what Kelly says. People be like, Gator, you know stuff? It's like, nah, man. It's like, I just listen, brah. All these GME looks so bearish to me. So incredibly bearish. I mean, the fundamentals are solid for GME, no doubt. Incredibly fundamental company and really good business model and all that stuff. But you have to think, like, they're talking about going like into all these NFTs and doing all this other stuff. An entirely speculative market and a speculative company, you know, with people that don't have the money to buy and hold this anymore. And this looks so bearish to me here. So I'm definitely thinking about shorting GME. I might buy some puts, some like $80 puts, way in the money next week. I'm just going to buy some $80 puts on Monday and swing GME short. Dude, I want to own things that don't exist. I want to own something that doesn't exist. A picture of something that's not even real. I do actually think there's some future in blockchain. I just, generally the technology behind blockchain, I think it's going to be like the next .com. And like 90%, 95% of the companies are going to fail. And then you're going to have those that succeed. I do think blockchain, in a sense, is the future to some things, but that doesn't mean I think GME is anything, or some of these other companies. But yeah, I'm thinking about taking some lotto puts in GME for a short next week, guys. Just looking at this chart, I'm glad I saw this today. If GME doesn't run on Monday, I'm going to short GME. I'm going to take some lotto puts. I'm going to take like 100 contracts or something at like 50 cents. That's like a month out. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do, but I might do that. I might not. I don't like overnights. They annoy me. So do you guys have questions, comments, concerns? Do you think, I think I'm stupid, but do you get what I'm saying, generally speaking? Was this topic and video, dude, Moderna is another one that's just... Do you guys have, I did hit Jess. Yeah, we hit 500 subs. Super pumped. Got to make our way to 1,000. It's the goal. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't matter. I just like helping people out here and trading with you guys. It makes trading fun. I really enjoy the job as a whole because of this. Today it did? Even at the end of the day? Do you mean here? Yeah. And then it went back up. It did. I actually thought about shorting, but it never pulled back. I didn't call it short, like, hey, short it, but The market was going up and Moderna was down here, and I was like, yo, Moderna short. And it never, like, I was hoping it was going to break the 2-minute 21. If it would have went up here for one candle into the 2-minute 21, I would have shorted it. But I didn't. I never saw a chance to get it. And when I see this, let me move my face. Just as a random thing, guys, when I see this, I usually am not trying to play the drop because you already had a massive move. And generally speaking, you're not going to get, like, a good orderly flow down after that. Sometimes you do, but it's less easy for me. Like, I'd look for the 50% retracement on this one, which it's easy to say when you're looking at a chart, but I don't try to catch the next drop. I wait for consolidation into the mid-range and then short it when it breaks down off of that. So I didn't short Moderna today, and then it actually ended up going up back to that level. But it did fail that breakout hard. Yeah, you're right. There's the line here on Apple that I drew today. You've got chart porn. You've got the bottom of 124 into the bottom of 224. 22, hit. I bet there's some hourly resistance. I've got to change charts, by the way. I've got to get to, Trading View or whatever. Trader Sync. Why can't I think? Not this. Not TC 2000. I don't know. I'll review some more of these next week. Oxy. Warren Buffett buys it and everybody's going wild. Square. I haven't liked Square. I used to really like trading Square. I haven't traded Square a lot lately. I haven't liked the way it hasn't been moving orderly. AMC, another name that's incredible with their fundamentals and the way they run their company, no doubt. A great company of the future, for sure. DWAC. What am I checking out? AMD? Or AMC? Or just like a bearish kind of wedge, like ledge like Apple was forming today, but on the daily for a breakdown? Or are you talking about Moderna? You know a name? I guess this technically does has risk. Seems like nobody's really getting into this one. But is a name that, like, if I was picking something to hold for an extended period of time, that's probably not going to drop a ton. You know, CFVI in the future, which is Rumble basically, if it eventually takes off in the long term, you're at a really low risk of entering down here. Like, it's really not worth much here. But if something happens, especially in the next election and all this other kind of stuff, you know, you could see an overall move in something like this. I don't know much about the company or how it works, but you know, you could see this name with very low risk if you had just, you know, below all-time lows, like $1 or $2 for an entry, and, you know, an eventual hold long if you think it's something when excitement comes back into names like this. It's one of those names. I'm just waiting. If you guys have any questions, throw them out. If you have anything you want me to answer or talk through, throw it out. You know, I'm just chilling. As far as my talk about price action and stuff, that stuff's done. I don't mind answering questions about it. Definitely don't mind answering questions or talking through some of the stuff, but I do hope that's kind of helpful. And I highly recommend you kind of learn to identify where you're at within the day move and the price, you know, all this other stuff. That you learn to identify where you're at and what type of action you're in, so you know what type of trading you should be doing and when you should be taking these setups and when you should not be taking these setups. Because I can't tell you how many times people message me and they're like, I don't know when to stop and I can't do this and I can't do that. One, you assume you're going to take a few losses, but then once you do zoom out and realize where you're at in the overall movement of the chart and the price action and all that. Oh. You know what I'm seeing on Tesla on the hourly? This is the first time in Tesla that we've had the 8 the 21, and the 200 today. So the 8, the 21, and the 200 on the hourly are now finally lined up in a bullish sequence. For the first time, we haven't been compressed like this in a long time. This is the hourly. It looks incredibly bullish. I'm just now looking at this. Oh man, I messed up this line. Oh well, I'll retry that one later. I hate this stupid thing. When was the last time we had this? When did this stop happening? All right, right here. So the last time this happened was December of 21. So since December of 21, it happened again here, and we had this bullish move. And that's still December of 21. We sat flat for a while. We really weren't. We were in consolidation. So since January, so it's been 6 months, guys. No, here we go again. Oh, I messed up that line. I have to redraw all my lines now. Here we go again. So a bullish sequence when we got above the 21 and the 200 crossed. We had so the last time the 21 and the 200 crossed, 740 A plus, nice. We had a 200, 300 point move plus, 300 plus point move. And the 21 caught up, the 200 caught up on the hourly. We're back down below. So the last time we crossed like this on the hourly, guys, for those of you who hung out this long, I appreciate it. You're getting a little bit of a treat here. And if you did, you can like this video. The last time on the hourly, the 21 crossed above the 200. We went from 850 to almost 1200. So almost a 4-point move, or a 400-point move. And then we crossed down on the hourly, and we are just now crossing back up. So for the first time in a long time, we are actually lined up incredibly bullish. And the last time this happened, we had an almost 400-point move to the upside in Tesla. I'm not saying it's going to happen now, but yeah, the last time this happened was 317, and we had that point move. And now we are at an hourly 21 crossing above the 200 with the 8 above it for the first time in 3 months, roughly. And the last time it happened, you had a 400-point move. If we break 740 for that monthly, I really like this. Very bullish going into next week. What do we get on the daily? We could definitely get back up, man. If we rip this and go, we could easily get back into the 900. I mean, you have a double bottom. Yeah. Think we could get back to like 950 before we roll over? So are you telling me I need to tell Rose to take some calls now? I might take some lottos, some $1,000 lottos a month out. Yeah, the Qs need to cooperate. What do you need to break? 740.50 is your A plus, which is here. So if we can break that, man, I hope we gap down just a little bit. I hope we're flat next week with maybe a slight gap down. Dude, I bet stinking future traders are gonna mess this up for us. I need to go trade futures. I'm not convinced we're going higher yet. I mean, I think we are, definitely. But we really need to break out. Yeah, I think this is the line that you have that I have. Kind of this one here on the daily. Except my line's probably wrong because of this TC2000 or whatever. It's really bad with its lines. I hate their freaking lines. I've got to switch over to TradingView or whatever. Yeah. I was looking at that today and I was like, yeah, yours is different, probably more accurate than mine. But I was like, I think we're there, but I don't have confidence that we're there yet. It's like after Monday, I think we could be there. Like we could even consolidate for a day or two and then go. Like I think we could see it and things are setting up really bullishly on a lot of these charts, but I don't know that we're there yet. You still got to go like 305.75. Like if the Qs can get there and do that, you know, I definitely think we're in this overall bullish, short-term bullish sequence. Okay, on the Qs. I think that's the line I have. I just think that TC2000 really sucks. 4, 5, yep, 22, and 6, 8. I can't even see because of all this trash. 6, 2. You have 6, 8. So you have, yeah, you have this there. You have there, which is, as today it would have been 297.57. So on Monday it'll be 296.43 roughly. Yeah, like we did here, but breakout. Like we need to have some consolidation for 3 or 4 days. And then go. If we run early, it might be a bad thing. I wouldn't be too aggressive early next week. But if you could have like the hourly on the Qs catch up, and we could have some pull down, some consolidation, not break down, pop up a little bit, you know, kind of like what happened the other day. And then this hourly gets over and you get this 21, like you get this 8 above the 8 and the 21 above the hourly 200. You get all these things curling up. We could see a nice bottom curl in some of these names. Yeah. Short term. Yeah, I like it. Well, don't see much as far as the questions about general price action. I hope you guys that watch this, and I can just sit here and talk to JR about thoughts on the market. I don't know that anybody's watching at this point. It's just me and you, man. You're typing. You're like, I'm freaking trying to drink and type at the same time. Like I'm 20 freaking Heinekens deep right now. And it's midnight. And I'm talking to you about stuff I'm going to talk about on Sunday. Oh, man. Multitasking. Yeah, I should be gaming. Or actually, I should go to bed. I got to start my 5 a.m. wake up again. I can't keep staying up till 11 o'clock doing shows and stuff. Yeah. I like to do my charts on, like, when I'm relaxing on, sometimes on Sunday. I don't mind doing them on Saturday either, or Friday. I don't like doing them on Saturday. Sunday night, sometimes really early Monday morning. But definitely touching them. So, I don't know, short GME, long Tesla. I love this. I didn't even notice this until now. This setup here to me. Man, if we could consolidate and pull in on the hourly, like even 1 day of consolidation, you could really see some bullish moves in Tesla. If the Qs want to hold. You mean 2001, like, I mean, I wasn't trading then, dude. I know you and JR were. If you're talking about the decade-long, if you're talking about, oh, I know there's a few people hanging out. Yeah. I obviously wasn't trading then. To be honest, I don't think we're anywhere near a long-term. I don't know. Like, I don't think we're near. I think we have another leg down. I just think we're going to go up first, consolidate and go up. And then I think we're going to have another leg down. Like mid-July, late July, you don't think they're going to renounce? Actually, they might not. You know, we might beat a recession, technically speaking. Even though most of the country's in a recession, you might technically beat a recession because you're having lowering gas or, you know, fuel price, all this other stuff that could happen. But, you know, you got to think with November coming up, they're going to be doing everything possible to avoid the technical term recession. And if you actually avoid that term in July, you could get a massive bounce in the market. Yeah, housing crisis, inflation. I wasn't trading in 2007 or 9 or 8 either. One day I'll look back and I'll be like, guys, this is 2020, and then this is 2022 again. And JR will be like, yeah, whatever. He'll be like an old man. Tell me you don't remember nothing. This was more like 2001. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're anywhere near bottom. I do think short term, though, like you said, we can get a massive, strong rally, and then it's just going to punk everybody out and rip down. There's just way too much negative stuff going on everywhere with slowed growth and all this other stuff and rising inflation costs. And if you look back to the 70s, which is kind of where we're at with a lot of that stuff, in my opinion, you know, people are you know, what they had to do to get inflation under control. It was like, what, this massive, like how many points? Inflation was like 15, or not inflation, what was it? The interest rate was like, what, 15% plus or something like that. And you still got food, you've got stagflation, you've got all this other stuff that's happening. Like, we might get a big dead market, you know, bounce, as you say here, and just rip up, get everybody thinking we're going long. It'll go long enough till you get all the FOMO people in. All the FOMO people are like, okay, we're finally going higher now, are going to buy in, and they're going to get their faces ripped off as we rip down and make another measured move, leg down in the market to lows. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I think we have a bounce coming, and then we have a rip their face off as soon as everybody thinks we're going to all-time highs. But if you're only in it for the next couple weeks, I think you'd be okay. You weren't in? Were you trading? You're that old, JR? Were you trading back in 1970s? You didn't trade that? You started trading slightly after that, right? It really is kind of like 1970s 2.0. Well, hey, elect stupid politicians, win stupid prizes, you know? I'll get political, I don't care. You were born like CT. You were born like, you were born with CT. I'm not going to get you started. I got to get you started when you're talking, not when you're typing. So much more fun. There is only one CT. The mustached one. Dude, he needs to change his name. He's got to change his name in Discord now and in the VTF to the mustached one. Oh, I gotta text him. He's sleeping now, but I gotta text him. Be like, dude, your name has to change. The mustache one. He does have a pretty epic mustache. El mustache. I like it. It's definitely got to be his new handle. Oh man, I like the mustache bandit. I should make a new, like, you have levels in like Discord and stuff and these different things. I should make a category solely for CT that says the mustache bandit. El Mustachio. And it's a totally sexist thing because only men can have it and they can only be let in by CT, and he must examine their mustache for like superior or whatever it is, like facial hair quality. And if he deems you worthy of that level, then you get to be a part of the Mustache Bandit Trader side gig in the Discord channel. I think that is fair and equitable, and I think would be something that would be really good. There's a lot of toxic masculinity. Trigger warning. Hardcore trigger warning, guys. Discord is not a safe place. Very dangerous place. The swamp bandits. I like it. I think when like we made this new Discord as opposed to the previous one that we had. Yep, love you, JR. I'm about to head that way too. It's midnight. Love you, brother. Catch you later, dude. I'll see you Monday, and I'll probably catch you on Sunday night show. Rose is like, we're not calling ourselves like, I don't know, something to do with like gators or something. I was like, yeah, that's just me. I don't remember, but it was kind of funny. All right, guys. I think all the useful information has been hit out. We're just kind of, having a good time. So I'm going to call it. If you have questions, if you have thoughts about this, I don't know that people are going to watch it this long. If you're rewatching it, the first hour is the really valuable stuff other than general market data with JR. Some value there for sure. I think there is, but all that being said, have a great weekend, guys. Like, share, subscribe if you're watching this. Share it with other people. Join the Discord. Join the family. Help us grow. Help us make other people successful traders. Learn to identify what the market is telling you within the day, price action, overall price movement, so you can, put the other stuff that we've been talking about over the last 2 weeks into play. And yeah, have a good one. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you banditos next week. Monday I will be trading, and we will slay the market then. So deuces, guys. Have a good one. Cheers, bandits.